Hello everybody. Just wanted to show something that I'm really excited about. Basically an illustration of the power of the user interactive collaborative spreadsheets that you can build through Google. So let me just kind of orient you to what you're seeing. This is a online real-time spreadsheet that would, of course, you'd give permissions to whomever you would like to have permissions. Those permissions can be viewable or editable. What you see here is a blue box, which is basically indicating where I am at in the process. If I scroll to the right, you're going to see that there's freeze bars here and here. So when I move the rest of the spreadsheet, you're going to see that this kind of area up top and this left column stays put. But if I scroll all the way to the right, what you'll see is there's another red box here. Well, this is somebody else that has logged in and is on the same spreadsheet. So this could be, for example, the supervisor or the department chair, whereas I could serve in this example as the faculty member. But again, if this person were to update in real time, then I would see exactly what they have changed. Now, for purposes of this demonstration, I've just essentially opened up this same exact URL spreadsheet in a different browser. And so this is me. It's just open in a different browser. So I'm going to show you how that works. Let's go over to the left. Now I'm going to orient you a little bit with what you're seeing. This is the score performance measures across here. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3.0. And these are the descriptions that were built last year as a result of the diligent work that a task force put together or did with each other as far to really kind of get clarification on what kind of score, what kind of activity constitutes what kind of score. And so you can see that teaching 50 to 80%, and then there's the subsections and examples of stuff within those subsections. Now I'm going to scroll down, and what you're going to see is there's a teaching score aggregate row, and then it jumps to scholarly creative 10 to 40%, and then service 10 to 40%, and then of course your total score, and we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But notice here that we also have two separate spreadsheets, template for faculty and template for the administrative version. And so again, if I come down all the way on the bottom of the administrative version, the percentages are different, and the administrative version has the subsections for administration as well. So let me illustrate how this works. At the beginning of the year, the faculty member would develop goals. And of course, you don't have to develop 3 goals for every subsection. It's just the idea is that you develop whatever goals you really feel are most important at the time in conjunction with discussion with your chair. And so I'm just going to throw in a couple of examples here. So for example, maybe somebody has a desire to build out their existing course in eLearn. So let's say I've typed that in. Okay, so that's kind of what I want to do for course design development. And maybe this person also has a desire to go ahead and learn how to embed various kinds of technologies within their eLearn course. So that's good too. And then maybe they also had gotten some data from a survey they gave to students last year for one of their courses, and the data was specifically asking about the liberal learning outcome they had in their course. And so maybe what they're going to do is they're going to use that data from that survey to improve the existing LLO, submit it to a roundtable, and get it approved so that they can implement it in the following semester in the spring of 2014. Okay, so this is kind of your goals and succinct narrative for what you want to do. And then you have the opportunity to place target. And so you can say, well, you know what? I think that this is kind of a 2.5. This is not like extraordinary. This is not doing something extraordinary, but it takes a lot of energy and effort. So I think it's a 2.5 on this scale. And this one here is also, well, actually, now that I think about it, I think it's kind of more like a 2. And maybe this here is more of a 2.5. And then down here, I think that's really neat. Using data to really improve my LLO, I think that's a 3. So those are kind of my target scores that I'm looking at. Oh, I better put in my percentages too. You know, I'm really going to focus on teaching this year, so I'm going to put 75%. And yeah, let's go ahead and go down here. Scholarly creative, well, you know, I'm going to do a little bit of that, so I'm going to do 15. And then on the service, I'm going to go ahead and do 10. So that adds up to 100 there. Looks like we've got all that information in. Okay, great. So how am I going to document this for my portfolio? So this column is portfolio documentation plan. And so maybe the person says, well, you know, I really like, of course, the ePortfolio. I'm going to go ahead and put in that data that I found. And then I'm also going to put in a little bit of a narrative in the roundtable discussions right here. And so that's how I'm going to document that at the end of the year. Okay, so this is all done together in conjunction with the department chair. And then towards the end of the year, you come back. And of course, you would do this for every subsection at the beginning of the year. And then of course, you come back, and at the end of the year, you're going to do your appraisals. And so you scroll over here, and you see that the person has self-assessment, self-score, and then supervisor assessment and supervisor score. And so the person takes a look here and says, well, you know, I think I did pretty darn well. Thorough implementation of existing course into eLearn. You know what? In fact, I liked it so much and I did so well that I think that warrants really a 2.5. So I'm gonna bump that up and see what my supervisor thinks of that. And yeah, I'm going to put some documentation in here, but for purposes of the video, length of the video, I'm going to bypass that. You know what? I not only learned how to do Quizlets and YouTube video embedding, but I also learned all kinds of other embedding. So you know what? I think I did fantastic in that area. I'm going to give myself a 3. And finally, you know, I did everything I could in my power to get this approved, but you know, it really just wasn't refined enough to get final approval. So I'm going to have to wait until the next semester to get that approved. Work diligently, but it wasn't refined enough to get approved. And so I really think I warrant more of a 2.5 than a 3 here. Okay, great. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and send the email link to my supervising physician. In fact, you would have done these for all, of course. Or, sorry, not supervising physician, my supervisor. I'm going to come over here, and now I'm going to just hang out here. Now, of course, I wouldn't have to be on this page, but I'm going to go to the other page, and I'm going to update it as if I were the supervisor. Great job. I'm impressed with your course. Okay, and yes, I do believe you get a 2.5, but not quite a 3. And then I'm going to come down here and, wow, so many awesome embeds. Whoop, I don't know what that was. My computer just flashed. That was weird. So many awesome embeds. I agree with a 3. Okay, so, there it goes, there it appears, and so forth. So they put the 3 down. All right, and you can kind of see how this all works. But the idea is that you work through the whole process. It's all auto-updated. You can do real-time collaboration if you desire. All of this data is importable and exportable. It's all clean and housed in an accessible location, and you can pull out all kinds of reports for accreditation or whatever else it might be. And it auto-calculates everything. And so, for example, let's say that this person got a 2 here, and we'll just go ahead and have the supervisor score everything else, just so you can see how it auto-generates a faculty appraisal score. Okay, so you got your weighted scores in each section and your final score. And of course, this score could be auto-generated, an email could be auto-generated to be sent to the dean or the faculty affairs committee or whatever else it might be. And I'm serious when I mean that this is only touching the surface. So imagine the increased efficiencies and capabilities and effectiveness of implementing these kinds of technologies through the free service that Google offers for Google Apps with Education. All right, if anybody has any questions, feel free to email me, David Payne at ucwv.edu, or give me a call. My extension is 4818. I'd be happy to show anybody more. Of course, I'm going to post a link, and you can play with this page as much as you like and change percentages and so forth. This is a copy of the original build that I'm working on. And there's other things to come, like links to ePortfolio, instructional videos, things like that. But anyways, hope you enjoyed.